Hello everybody, welcome to the Northern Film Review. This week we are going to be talking about Luke's documentary pitch. We're going to be talking about our nomination for an award. Very exciting. And we're going to be talking about some upcoming releases. Hope you enjoy. The Northern Film Review with your hosts, Oliver Ellis and Luke Simpson. Hello, Luke. How are you?
Hello, I am A-OK. Just got back literally an hour ago from work.
Yeah.
Working the weekend, so I am nice and refreshed-ish.
Yeah.
But ready to crack on.
Crack on, yeah. Well, sort of interesting tidbit onto what happened when we're trying to record this podcast, and I booked out the studio last week for 2 hours, as I do, because we like to have the sort of overflow into the next hour, because it allows for sort of
mistakes
to happen, as it has happened before, and will continue to happen. And I perpetually think someone's going to come into the room whenever we record. But I booked the room. What day was it? Wednesday?
Thursday.
Yeah. I booked the room out, and then I completely forgot about it. And then I booked a room at uni on the same day to book out equipment, and I booked out a Foley studio so I could do some of my coursework. And Luke messaged me the morning of, and was like, I'm like 10 minutes away or something. And I was like, you what? 10 minutes from where? And I completely forgot about the recording of the podcast. And I was like, Luke, I'm sorry, I booked the studio out. I can't finagle on the equipment. And Luke was already there, or already here. And I was like, no, sorry, I can't do it. And Luke got quite annoyed at me.
Only a tiny bit, but yeah.
I'm sorry. It was entirely
right.
my fault. I double booked myself, and I just completely forgot about it. It's a very stupid thing for me to do. But we're here now. We're here the day before. The podcast is due to go out on radio, which is every Tuesday. What time is it? 9 till 10. On Tuesdays on LSR. And so it'll be sort of a busy night for me editing the podcast arena.
But there was one good thing that came out of Thursday, wasn't it?
Yes. So this is Luke was quite annoyed at me. I was like, oh God, how can I make it up to Luke in a way that he won't continuously be mad at me for for nagging on him going all the way to...
I got stood up!
all the way to the radio station for him to, have to walk all the way back. After that, I saw on the LSR...
Instagram.
Was it Instagram?
Yeah.
Or I saw it on the Facebook, I think. So for a couple of... In first year, and they were supposed to do it in last year as well, but obviously the pandemic arena was sort of happening, and it just kind of happened. But in first year there was sort of like this award ceremony for everyone, and it was quite interesting because people get nominated for shows. I did a show called Beckett Brunch, which I think I was the only sort of specialist show that was ran for 2 hours, which is interesting. I think they probably gave it to me because I had lots of radio experience before that, but I had literally no idea what to do for the actual show, so it turned out quite terrible. So I didn't win anything. And then sort of pandemic, I think they did one, but I don't think they really did one.
Well, second year is when we started. So we started this podcast during lockdown, didn't we? We organising stuff for it.
Yeah.
It was quite funny actually. It was to be honest, I think I worked with you once first year, and then that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
But then from that we got talking, and basically I mentioned to him, I wanted to do a podcast. even if it was just within friends. And then it was like, oh yeah, I remember you wanted to do a podcast. You want to do one still for the radio? I was like,
yeah,
okay, that's a big ask, but yeah, why not? And then so we started that during lockdown, just organising stuff, throwing back and forth ideas, setting up accounts and stuff like that. And then it was pretty much first week or so of university starting, we started the podcast.
Yeah, and we always wanted to have a lovely little podcast, and we've always wanted to win an award. Well, I've always wanted to be nominated for an award, and get something.
Gets your ego scratched, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm a bit of an egotist, and I think everyone who does radio shows are a little bit egotistic. And we got nominated for Best Speech Show for the Northern Film Review, which is nice.
Yeah.
Makes me feel happy.
I mean, I was pretty surprised, actually, because I was funny the day before. I was like, oh, we never get nominated for anything. And, we got nominated. Well, hey.
Yeah. There's 9 categories. There's also a Best Podcast category, but I haven't sent the podcast off to be podcasted at LSR for quite a while, so I don't know whether we were perhaps categorized for that. Luke's looking at me with the death stare. What is this?
Because we did the first podcast we did, you sent it off.
Yeah, I know, but I
He's forgot.
That's so
usual.
There's a revelation there. But it is, obviously, we're going to win, and everyone else is going to lose, because we are the best. No,
it's just
nice.
been good nominated. Honestly,
it's nice. Yes,
it's
I like to
different.
be
I
appreciated.
don't think I've ever been nominated for anything before. So,
and the thing is with sort of radio as well, it's a bit weird that the student, because you don't really have awards for radio presenters per se in the general industry. So when I sort of worked for community radio, there wasn't really any award shows there, and sort of the general community radio circuit tends to not have many award ceremonies. I think for the big radio stations as well, it's not really much. I mean, yeah, there's the odd sort of event show, but there's no real big ones.
Yeah,
but it's that's fun. That's exciting.
It is indeed. And that's on Thursday, isn't it? With the actual awards.
So next week we'll tell you whether we won. And I don't know. Do we get like an award each, or do we get one?
I wouldn't know.
You can have it on weekends. Thank you. Luke works weekends. And
you're a very funny man, aren't you?
I'm a very funny man. We can timeshare the baby. But yeah, talking of winning, your documentary
My documentarino. Yeah, that's going all right. So I pitched last Wednesday.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, it went all right. And it was not really right. For your pitch, it was in front of hundreds of people, in front of staff, in front of everyone.
Yeah,
standing in front into a big lecture theatre.
Yeah, big lecture theatre is horrible.
Mine was like, it was just basically, it's like PHSCE. We're in a big circle. And we're just saying, so Luke, what's your idea? So Laura, what's your idea? So Jake, what's your idea? And it was just like, it was proper chill. We just went through our ideas.
Yeah.
We had we had to write a plan. So it was like, what's going to be called? What's our main focus on it? What's the hidden meaning within the documentary going to be? Because in documentaries, there's normally 2 things you focus on. So if say it's like a documentary about, let's say it's about Leeds United. It's about football, but it's also about communal. Because Leeds fans are communal. So there's always a hidden, and I go to any film as well, there's always a hidden meaning within the film. Within the main film, there's always like a hidden meaning behind it. So we did that, we were in a circle, we pitched it, and I think half of them got green lit, and half of them got orange lit, amber lit. But doesn't mean it's rubbish. None of them got, so basically it's like there's 7 of us that were pitching. We've got budget for 6 of them. He was like, yeah, we'll probably get all 6 of them done, because 2 of them don't really need a budget. That goes for my one. My one doesn't really need a budget because I'm basically in Leeds 100% of the time. I'm not going anywhere. I don't need budget to stay anywhere. I don't need to travel anywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe you need a little bit for one guy trying to get in from Scotland, but that's pretty much it. But it's not like I need 500 quid for it. But it went all right. I've got a meeting tomorrow. We're recording this on Monday, so on Tuesday, I'm hopefully having a meeting with a society leader about neurodivergence and musicians. I'm recording it, audio recording it.
Okay.
She's passionate about it, so it's good on my end. So after that, it's just more meetings, getting to know people, getting to know musicians, meetings with our course leader. So it's just meetings, pitching. It's like every time you meet someone, it's like a new pitch. So it's like the elevator pitch, isn't it? It's like every time you meet someone new who you're trying to collaborate with, you need to pitch your idea to them to get them on board. So you got your initial pitch to your big company, let's say. Our big company is my course leader.
Yeah.
And then you've got your mini pitches to your collaborators. So you might need to pitch to your contributors, so your people you're interviewing, who your documentary's about, but also to people like cinematographers. You need to pitch it to audio engineers. You need to pitch it to everyone, basically. So you're not just done with one pitch. You've got multiple pitches to do.
Yeah, that's quite cool. I'm glad you've got sort of that way through it. I think it's interesting, sort of the development of documentaries.
Yeah.
I think you were talking was it last week about how your lecturer sort of went and talked to a bunch of Nazis and found out they were boring.
Yeah, neo-fascists.
It's neo-fascists.
Whatever it was, I can't exactly remember.
But it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting subject arena, neurodivergence in sort of the music world.
Yeah.
Because we sort of we go to a lot of gigs.
Indeed.
I go to a lot of gigs because our roommates are musicians. They're very fancy.
They're pretty good as well, so.
Yeah, that's quite cool. But it's sort of finding that sort of niche of the neurodivergence.
Yeah, because I'm neurodivergent myself, so I. Oh, that's beautiful singing, isn't it?
Someone singing.
Yeah.
Next door.
But yeah, because I'm neurodivergent myself. I'm dyspraxic ADD, so I had to stop playing music because of my dyspraxia. So I was a saxophonist.
Yes, and you got quite far into sort of music, but you were unfortunately
grade 5 in both saxophone and piano. So well.
Oh, now you make documentaries.
Now I make documentaries. Now I'm a filmmaker. I'm an editor.
Life gives you lemons.
Swings and roundabouts, isn't it?
You know, that sort of thing. But talking about lemons,
What a
I don't know.
flip.
I was trying to segue into the next portion. New releases. It is coming to that sort of season. So we talk about Matt a lot on this show for some reason. And every time I come back to the flat, I go, Matt, we talked about you on the podcast. People like to be mentioned on the podcast. My dad, he was very
happy that he got mentioned.
He got a name drop, yeah. Now he's been name dropped again. Hello, father.
How are you?
And then Matt, we talk about a lot. And then obviously my other roommate, Imogen,
lecturers,
who is quite mean.
Luke as well, our beautiful graphic designer.
Yeah, Luke Anderson. Who I because for the awards thing.
Oh yeah.
I was like, why is Luke being set up for an award for like best presenter?
It was like I did a double take on it. I was like, Luke Anderson, what?
Yeah, I
messaged you after that as well. You're like, yeah, I thought the same thing as well.
I don't know because I looked in the sort of the LSR Facebook group chat or Facebook thing, and there's no Luke Anderson in there.
Oh well.
So that's interesting. But yeah,
Luke wins an award for not doing it.
Yeah, which is quite interesting. But yeah, so our friend Matt, he works in a cinema and he gets us free tickets to stuff. Like I saw Petite Maman.
You did indeed. How was that?
It was very good. I enjoyed it.
You like Celine Sciamma?
Yeah, it was very good. And I had a very French week last week.
Because
I watched Petite Maman and then I hung out with some friends and this French girl. I can't remember what day it was. No, she was not French. She's Swiss.
Swiss, yeah.
And she taught me some French. She's French Swiss.
Yeah, but in Switzerland they speak multiple, so they got because neighbouring.
Well, they've got like German Swiss people and they've got French
Yeah.
Swiss people, and I think their sort of English is sort of an overarching language there.
Yeah.
But it's and sort of learn some French. None of which I will
But it's
repeat
funny
on this podcast.
It's mad
it's all
because
swear words.
you like your French things, but you're learning Spanish on Duolingo, so it's a bit of a
I don't know why
it's a bit mad,
random
innit?
judgy.
You like your French, you like French films.
I want to go to France.
You want to go to France, but you're learning Spanish.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm learning Spanish, to be honest with you. Yo estudiante es español.
Biblioteca.
Hablo un poco español. But yeah, I don't know. It's a bit weird. What was I talking about?
New releases.
New releases.
Keep 'em around.
Matt. Let's come back to Matt. Circle back to Matt.
Beautiful
So Matt, he works in cinema, and there's sort of like there's ups and downs in cinemas about how many people go in.
Yeah.
So after we've sort of come out of the pandemic a little bit, there was lots of sort of films in the cinema.
Mm-hmm.
There's loads and loads of films because these big studios, they didn't want to release it.
They didn't want to release it on like streaming services, really.
No, and it's sort of this is basically the only time they could do it. So there's been a lot of films, but there's been a lot of naff films.
Counter for one.
Yeah, there's a lot of films. So there was a big sort of burst of people going into cinemas, watching films. And now we're coming up to the stage where lots of people will watch films around Christmas.
Yeah.
So you'll
because there's like 3 main release months. Is it? I don't know how to say it, but like big films, blockbusters normally. There's like 3 like months that you normally release. So it's normally like your summer releases, your Christmas releases, and especially for horror films, it's your October Halloween releases.
Yeah. And so a lot of people will go to the cinema on Boxing Day and New Year's and New Year's Eve and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that sort of period where you don't know what day it is between New Year's and Christmas.
Yeah.
And that's a sort of a common theme. So there's been a lot of new releases at the moment. One of which is Spooderman.
Spooderman, that one I'm excited for.
You were originally going to watch pre-screening for.
Yeah, I was, yeah.
But then that fell through.
But you still get free tickets. What can I say?
Yeah, you get a free ticket on the day that it's released. So,
it's absolutely fine.
Vibes.
It's vibes, yeah.
Which will be fun.
That will be fun. We
got talk through Spider-Man. Why is it an exciting release?
Spider-Man. It's been one of the most it's not overhyped, but it's hyped up more than Endgame has. So Endgame was the big be all end all of the first few episodes of the MCU. A couple of characters died, and it's like starting fresh with the last Spider-Man. But this one, because it involves the multiverse and all the scientists out there, the multiverse is a big thing, and which means now.
You say all the scientists out there?
Yeah, because multiverse is all the. There's an actual theory, the multiverse theory.
Okay,
yeah. But
interesting.
The good thing about this Spider-Man film is that it's bringing villains from other Spider-Man properties. So you got your Sam Raimi Spider-Man, which was back in 2002 to 2008 maybe, with the 3 Spider-Mans directed by Sam Raimi, who is now coming to the MCU, which is quite fun.
Yeah.
But that's bringing some of them in, and it's bringing the John Webb Spider-Man. Is it John Webb? Simon Webb? Something like that.
Great name for Spider-Man.
Right, yeah, that's Webb, his surname. His property, The Amazing Spider-Man, and he's bringing some of the villains from there into it. So it's like bringing all the Spider-Man properties together, which is why everyone's really excited, because Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, by far one of the most popular characters in any Spider-Man film, is in it. And Willem Dafoe as well, Green Goblin. So that's exciting. That's why it's really hyped up, and they're expecting that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are expected to make an appearance in it somewhere. Ooh. So that's why people are really excited about this. Really, it's like going to kick off the next wave of films. So that's why everyone's really excited about it.
Yeah, I mean it's
Especially me.
yeah, it's quite an interesting sort of. Well, the MCU. I'm not a big fan. We did a whole podcast on why I'm not a big fan. I literally just watched Endgame the other night.
For the first time, or?
For the first time, watched Thanos do some vibes.
Did you watch Infinity War, though, before?
Yeah, no, I saw that.
Okay, good.
I think I saw that in cinema, Not sure. But I watched Endgame. I didn't think it was very good.
Yeah, because I had no French...
no French people
no
in
French
it.
people in it.
Which is interesting. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
But
Marvel.
within December, obviously you got your Christmas films coming up,
Yeah.
which are always normally... New Christmas films are normally naff.
Yeah.
Can't be the good Home Alones and the Die Hards. I class Die Hard as a Christmas film. Don't at me, because I am true. I am correct.
True.
But you've got your musical. You got West Side Story, directed by Steven Spielberg.
Spielbergo, yes.
Spielbergo,
I saw the
yeah.
advert for that. I
Which
think it looks nice.
actually looks, yeah, but it looks cinematography wise, it looks really good. But everyone who likes musicals, my sister included, my sister's a big, huge musical buff. Normally, everyone says, "Oh, the film adaptations of musicals are always really, really bad, really bad." So she's not got high hopes for that.
I haven't been particularly impressed with Steven Spielberg's work recently.
I mean, I really like Ready Player One.
Do you?
I liked it, yeah. I quite like Ready Player One.
Well,
It's one of them films that you can just sit down and relax and watch, really. It's not... Yeah, sometimes I watch films to break it down and do all your film school stuff to it, but there's some films that you just want to sit down and relax and geek out to, and I geeked out so much to it because the amount of references there was in it.
Yeah, but the sort of...
But yeah, it didn't really relate to the actual book, though.
No, did you read the book?
No, because I can't really read. But, I get distracted so easily. I would want to listen to the audiobook of it, though. It's one that I should get around to listen to, but no, I haven't. But I know it's nothing like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really enjoy it. And again, it's just sort of... Obviously, I didn't enjoy it because it's a big budget film.
You like your indies and stuff like that, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, I did watch Petite Maman in the cinema.
Were you the only one there watching it?
No, there was a couple of... I watched it in the middle of the day on a Monday, and there was like 7 people in the cinema, including myself. I mean, that doesn't sound like loads, but like for the middle of the day.
For the middle of the day on a Monday.
For a French film.
Yeah, that's pretty good, actually.
Like, pretty good. But... Yeah, I don't know. Ready Player One was good. Yeah. And I'm going to sort of Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg.
It just sort of... Obviously, he has his sort of like his big hits. I'm not really a big fan of Steven Spielberg as a director.
Well, you got his big hits like Jaws. You've got his big hits like The Close Encounter with the Third Kind. Third Kind. You got
the Goonies, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm just sort of.
But then you got War Horse, which was a bit of a letdown that he did.
I don't really know. Sort of like. I don't know. I think he's a big cultural sort of figure. But he's not like. I'm not really that into him.
He did invent some really good techniques. So
yeah,
Dolly
definitely.
Zoom was one of his.
Yeah, like I said, he's culturally significant.
Yeah.
In a massive way in cinema.
Yeah.
But I think maybe there's better directors out there.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Going on to December 17th, we've got Nightmare Alley, which is Guillermo del Toro's new film. So, the trailer, a new trailer came out the other day for it. It looks really good.
Yeah.
I really like Guillermo del Toro. He's I can't really say his name properly, but I loved Shape of Water. I loved Pan's
Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth. Pan's Labyrinth's amazing.
Cowboy.
Yeah, he produced a lot of. Basically, there was supposed to be a new game coming out related to Resident Evil.
Yeah.
That he was going to produce and looked amazing, but sadly it didn't, which was really upsetting.
Yeah, I think with Del Toro is he's quite an interesting director.
Yeah,
because he's Spanish for one.
Mexican, I think.
Spanish.
Is he I thought he was Mexican.
Spanish.
Oh, cool.
I think. Maybe look that up.
Yeah.
He's got quite an interesting sort of like theme.
Yeah.
He's got such a strong directorial sense.
Yeah, Indeed,
and
yeah.
I really enjoy that. Because if you compare sort of his films from one another, you can really you can tell the visual style, and you can tell sort of the storytelling. And it's,
what I really like about his films as well is that he uses.
Yeah, he's Mexican.
Yeah, I thought so. What he does, he uses, instead of using VFX to make creature designs, he actually uses humans. Like he actually he's a really famous actor. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. An English actor who is always in Guillem's films, but as like a contortionist, as a big tall president. But he's in the shape of water. He's the monster in the shape of water. He's the weird horned Donnie from Pan's Labyrinth. He's in a few Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. He's in a couple of them, I think. That's a good film, actually. He produced that, actually. But yeah, the fact that for his creature designs, he doesn't use VFX for it. He uses prosthetics. He uses stilts. He uses just people, contortionists, to actually produce it. And in a way, it makes it more scary in a way. Because it's more realistic. You see the joints move and everything like that. It's, honestly, I that's why I really like Willem.
Yeah, I think the reason why I thought it was he was Spanish, we were like having two different conversations here. It is because Pan's Labyrinth was set in the Spanish Civil War. Yeah,
it was.
But I'm just wrong. But yeah,
microphone drop.
Yeah. What's the next release? Tell me the next release.
Hey.
What's the next release?
What's the next one? We got The Kingsman, which is a follow-on from. Also, it's a prequel to the Kingsman Secret Service, which comes out the 22nd, along with the new Matrix film, with the Wachowski sisters at charge. Not Wachowski brothers anymore.
No.
But the Wachowskis is at helm again, which. Oh, I've got mixed feelings with the Wachowskis. I really didn't like the final two Matrix films, honestly. The first Matrix was revolutionary, bullet time effects, which is being used everywhere now. Amazing. I love the Wachowskis. They basically invented a bit like, I'm not comparing him to Steven Spielberg, but the bullet time, their bullet time is his dolly zoom.
Yeah. Well, I just so Kingsman.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah, Kingsman
is
first, yeah. Based off a comic.
I like the first film. I thought the first film was very interesting. I thought it was very sort of like
very British, very
British, very off cuff. And that was quite fun. I watched a bit of the second one. Yeah, it wasn't really for me.
No. But this one's set in World War One.
Yeah,
so I period drama type of thing.
Yeah, I think I saw the adverts for it.
Yeah,
I think there's it's like
Ralph Fiennes in it.
There's like some sort of Russian bit in it.
So yeah, they get
with Rasputin.
Rasputin, isn't it? Yeah.
Which I don't know whether having the Secret Service with Rasputin in it is I don't know.
It's odd.
It's a bit weird. I don't really think Kingsman needed. I think Kingsman should have just stayed as a standalone film.
Yeah, it was a really brilliant, well crafted first. Because spoilers for it, but near the ending, where Harry died, he got shot in the head by Samuel L. Jackson's character.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. You did not expect that. And then in the second one, they ruined it by him coming back to life again, by having some miracle gel that basically re-heals his brain. It was stupid. Yeah. And the ending, that is over the overall arc of Eggsy's character, is one that made him go and do that. Go and be the Secret Service and choose the umbrella and choose a weapon because of Harry. That arc was like, he's like a father figure to him. And then
yeah, it's just really stupid.
Yeah.
I think for a standalone film it was it wasn't very good, but it was quite good. I enjoyed it, and I think it's quite fun and high energy. And it's just sort of like, that it's like a satire of Bond.
It was indeed.
Quite interesting, quite fun.
Yeah.
But
because you expect Bond to be this well mannered, secret agent.
And
you got
Eggsy,
who's
aspect of it.
Yeah.
But for the new Matrix film, I don't care.
I don't care for it really.
Like I'm not gonna watch it.
No. Then final film of December, coming out onto Netflix actually, is Don't Look Up, which it's quite a hyped film recently, because of the cast. The cast has Leonardo DiCaprio. It has
someone else.
Jonah Hill. It's got Meryl Streep. I think it's got what's her face?
Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's got such a. It's star-studded cast. Ariana Grande's in it for some reason. Thingy Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, she's in it, and it's like how they got all these actors in it. Scheduling must be mayhem. Just thinking about it, it's like, oh my god, how did they get all this happen? But it's going to be a Netflix film coming out 24th of December, so it's going to be they're trying to catch that. Oh, it's Christmas Eve. We've got a film to watch. Can't bother to watch a Christmas film because we watched too many of them already. Let's watch this film.
I don't know. Why would you watch Netflix on Christmas
Eve? I don't know.
I think the sort of the general like the reason I enjoy Christmas so much is for the food.
Yeah.
For the family.
Presents.
Put that one in there. And the sort of
for your dad. Your dad's listening. So.
Yeah. And for the sort of the TV. I like the TV. Why are you watching Netflix? You know?
It's TV. It's the new.
No, but it's like you watch BBC, you watch the sort of like
ITV, you watch all the Christmas specials.
Yeah, you watch Christmas special like Bake Off or like Doctor Who.
Or, yeah.
You know, some sort of if you're into the Queen's Speech, that sort of thing. Where she avoids some topics that she should probably talk about. We're
not going to get political on this podcast. I'm not getting political on this podcast. Behave.
We did a whole podcast last week about communism. So that's why we're being followed around by the Chinese government. No, it's I don't know. It strikes me as a bit weird. I don't know. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't watch a Netflix thing on Christmas.
Well, no,
maybe on Boxing Day.
Boxing Day, yeah. But it's coming around that time to cash in on people being lazy, not wanting to go out on Boxing Day or Christmas Eve because they've already been out this evening.
Yeah.
It's cold because it's raining and England's miserable as per usual. But, you know.
I'm going for a meal with my friends on Christmas Eve.
Oh, very nice.
It should be fun.
Yeah.
Going to see my friends from back home.
Back in the Black Country.
Which will be exciting. Get to see everyone's faces.
I'm working Christmas Eve.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
Working. Oh, God, I'm working New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
Yeah. That's quite depressing.
It is.
We thought our friend Matt was going to be working on Christmas Eve and Boxing Day, and he wouldn't be able to go home, and he'd have to spend Christmas on his own, and that made.
Oh, that's so mean, poor Matt.
He doesn't have to anymore.
That's good.
That's good. He does have to work New Year's Day though, so
yeah.
Sucks to be him. Is that all it for the releases?
For December releases,
is that all the releases?
Not all releases, many more. There's loads of little Christmas films coming out, which I just can't be bothered to talk about.
Yeah, I think there's sort of I was sort of like half watching a film yesterday. I think it's called Dear John or something like that.
Oh,
and it's sort of like
Amazon Prime, I'm presuming it is.
I don't know. But it was sort of this soppy sort of film about this guy who sort of goes to war and his dad's got autism and it's sort of a bit weird. And basically nothing happens in the film. And I was sort of like watching it and sort of I like to watch films and go like, what is the demographic for this film? And it was so sort of like middle America, sort of middle class woman who's just like watching this film and real just major stereotypes there, but it's just sort of like it's so obviously trying to be for this specific person, which I find quite interesting. And I think often sort of Christmas films will play into that sort of like saying like a very very specific person, Is it for like this person who really likes emotional films, or like is it for a family? You can obviously tell that these Christmas films are like,
is it for a romantic night in?
yeah.
Is it
trying to shut the kids up for a couple of hours, sort of film to watch. I
think Christmas films are really not being the greatest for a while. Really, the new releases, really. That you just can't beat. It's classics. You can't beat the same goes to Christmas songs, really.
Yeah, definitely. I think Ed Sheeran released a song recently.
George Ezra's actually released a whole new Christmas album. Actually,
I'm sure it's all right, but it's like I don't care.
But like your Home Alones,
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas, yeah. I've got a little special something for Rise of the Guardians.
Rise of the Guardians?
Yeah.
What's Rise of the Guardians?
Animated show. Animated. It's not Christmas movie set. It's just Jack Frost not being remembered, and he remembered. It's got Chris Pine in it. It's got Ozzy Donny as Easter Bunny. Hugh Jackman.
I think Christmas films are a bit hit or miss.
Yeah.
I think we're probably of the age now where Christmas films really aren't meant for us at all.
Yeah. But I still watch Home Alone every Christmas.
Yeah, I watch Home Alone, but it's sort of
buff them.
It's kind of like nostalgia.
Yeah.
Although it didn't really come out when we were younger, we kind of watched it when we were younger.
But it was like our parents sat us down and watched it because it was something they watched. Not as a kid, because I wasn't really a kid, but it came out when they were growing up, so it was like, we watched this, we liked it, you might like it. And it's the thing that we'll probably pass it on to our kids to watch it because it's a good Christmas film. And it's like the legacy of it.
I think that with Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of something I watch with my brother. And it's sort of like something that's kind of on, and it's kind of alternative, which is quite nice. I don't know whether, because it's kind of like off the cuff from the mainstream of like Christmas films. Yeah. It's Tim Burton.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of. It's Tim Burton. Known for horror.
And it's...
or dark, gothic things.
Gothic, I would say. It's good. I like that sort of film.
Like gothic. It's like the mirror opposite to it, isn't it? It's like Christmas is all white and happy, and then you got your gothicness of it. It's like, I really like that as well.
I think, but I'm not really sort of enthused by Christmas. I watched Krampus. As
a Christmas horror it goes. It's one of the best because
it's the only one.
No, there are multiple.
Is there?
There are some horrendous horrors. Well, you got Jack Frost for one. There's one called Jack Frost where there's a killer snowman and he kills someone with his carrot nose. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, as you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think on that note of Christmas, Jack Frost killing someone with his nose, I think we should end the show.
Indeed.
See the people off. We'll be. I'm yawning. We'll be back next week with. Will we be back next week? I don't know
when the last one airs. Actually, the next thing it might be one more week of.
Yeah, there might be one more week, or this might be the last show.
So if it is, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Yeah, we'll see you
after Christmas.
So
a well-deserved break.
Year, 2022.
2022. Fingers crossed.
I'll be 22.
I'll be feeling 22. I'll be 21.
Yeah, that'll be exciting. Another year closer to death.
You're so morbid, you are. Oh, come on.
No.
No, but serious, one more year closer to death.
Or maybe I'll die before I'm 22. So on that note,
on that lovely note that you've left in our minds.
Yeah.
Have a lovely Christmas if we don't talk to you.
Merry Christmas, unless we see you next week, where we'll probably do a Christmas film. Or maybe have someone on, or maybe do something interesting. I don't know. If we do have to do it next week, it'll be kind of lax.
Yeah, be more relaxed one, just more chill for.
Yeah, it'll just be sort of chewing the fat.
Yeah.
I don't really understand that expression, but we'll be chewing it and then
putting
it. Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway, see ya. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.